Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pills of Physiology. Today, we are going to talk about the short term response of marine birds to excess salinity. Does it seem difficult? Alright, kiddo, let's make it simple for you. What is it in the picture? Yes, a bird, but more specifically, a marine bird, like the ones that steal your food at the beach. And we know that in marine environment, the water has salt, and we will explain to you how these animals deal with this huge amount of salt. You know, when something unexpected happens, like a loud noise, we might jump or cover our ears. Well, animals do something similar when their environment suddenly changes. In our case, the environment might change because of higher temperature and modification in the salinity levels. When this event happens, birds might change how they act or how their body parts work to deal with the new situation. Imagine our body like a big bucket of water. Sometimes, when animals like birds living in the ocean eat too much salty stuff, their bodies get too salty inside. But they have a cool trick to get rid of that extra salt. They have special glands, kind of like little factories, that help them get rid of the extra salt. Inside these glands, there are tiny parts called secretory tubules. Think of them as tiny pipes that help move things around. These tubules are lined with the special cells that are really good at getting rid of salt. So, when there is too much salt, these cells work hard to make sure the body gets rid of it. These cells use special pumps to push the salt out, kind of like how we use a bucket to remove water from a sinking boat. This helps the body to keep the right balance of salt inside. It's like having a little team of workers inside the body, making sure everything stays just right. Does it require effort? Yes, of course, this mechanism consumes energy. But would you rather make some effort or die? All this work from these cells that maintains the concentration of salt constant in the internal environment is part of the processes so-called homeostasis. The body behaves like if it's balancing on a swing, and if the concentration of the salt increases or decreases too much, it falls down and the organism can't work very well and can be damaged. For examples, humans do not have specialized glands like marine birds. Our bodies regulate salt balance primarily through the kidneys, which filter out the excess of salt and excrete it in urine. However, humans have a lower tolerance for high salt intake compared to marine birds. Excessive salt consumption in humans can lead to health issues such as high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and kidney problems. In the specific case, drinking salty water will lead the body to dehydration. That's exactly the opposite result we want to obtain by drinking. Not only marine birds have to deal with the excess of salts, other animals such as reptiles, fish, marine mammals, crustaceans, and others have different physiological adaptations to survive. If you are interested about that, don't forget to follow the next episodes of Pills of Physiology. But how are these salt glands controlled? If you imagine the bird's body as a grand ship sailing through the ocean, then the salt glands are the engine room. The engine room is very important to keep the ship sailing smoothly and balanced. And so are the salt glands. But who tells the workers in the engine room what to do? Exactly. They need a captain that steers the course. As for the salt glands, a specific part of the brain is our captain. He is called hypothalamus. When he senses too much salt, he sends out little helpers to the engine room, so our salt glands, to overbring the captain message. These messengers are called acetylcholine and vasoactive intestinal peptides. Vaso what? Don't worry, we will stick to VIP because they are very important peptides, and to ACH. Once the message is received, the engine, our salt glands, start working. They start producing a very salty liquid, which is even saltier than seawater. To make sure everything works as it should, the captain needs another important worker. But who is he talking to? Exactly, to his important assistant, aldosterone, who is immediately sent out to regulate proteins that are called sodium channels. Aldosterone is very essential and it's a very important worker. Aldosterone makes sure enough sodium ions from the blood cells enter the glands, so that the high concentration of salt drives the water in the cell glands. This is called osmosis. But in our marine birds, to ensure the activation of the salt gland workers, the production and secretion of the supersalty liquid in response to the signals from the hypothalamus and the messengers ACH and VIP, and the important assistant aldosterone, we also need, yes, a well-working compass, CAMP. Because without this team, our marine birds would end like this. And just a pro tip for you: if you are shipwrecked, don't drink seawater if you don't want to become food for sharks. Just kidding, seagulls will find you before and eat your carcass. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode of Pills of Physiology.